Hi there. My name is Corey Sanders, and I'm here to give you a quick walkthrough on the new Arena experience on the CoreWeave cloud. Now, it started by me receiving an invitation from the solution architects at CoreWeave, who had set up an environment for me to be able to do some of these tests and example walkthroughs on the cloud that's been made for me. And so it started with me to be able to log right in here into the console. And so I logged in, and you can see here I have a cluster already up and running that's been set up for me, which is lovely. This is a Kubernetes cluster running CKS, the CoreWeave Kubernetes service. And on top of this, they've also set up a Sunk environment for me, which we'll go through a little bit later, which is a Slurm solution. It's very unique on CoreWeave that allows me to do Slurm operations on top of a Kubernetes-based infrastructure environment. And so the only really thing I need to do to be able to get access here is to bring a public key in with the private key on my local machine so that I can access the environment. And so I've already created a key. And so I just want to get the public key out here. And so I'm going to copy and paste it and go right back into the console. It's just down here. If I click on my name and click settings and scroll down, you can see here SSH public key for Slurm. Type that in, save it, and away I go. And that's it for me in the console for now. Now, once I get that key up and running, the next big step is I could go in and actually SSH into the machine, into the login node here for my Slurm environment. So here you can see I'm logged in. It gives me a little bit of detail of what the CoreWeave Slurm HPC cluster looks like, the things that have been pre-installed for me and set up. You can sort of see I'm running here. But instead of actually doing this through SSH, here's what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to run this through Maremo because it helps me understand what I'm doing step by step and actually be able to run the commands directly from that environment. So let me spin up a Maremo deployment here. It's going to be running on that login node. Okay, and so let me just copy that and let me open back up into my console here. Bingo, bango. And I have my Maremo environment up and running as part of my Sunk deployment on the CoreWeave cloud. Okay, and so let me just run my prerequisites here. I just have to make sure bash execution can happen. And so here we are. Welcome to Sunk. This allows me to play with the environment, the Sunk deployment that's been set up for me. Within seconds, you can see I'm up and running and ready to run some commands. So the first thing, I can see, hey, what's my storage look like? Right, and these commands give me exactly the storage that's been set up for me in the environment. I can see what resources do I have, right, and what's the default here. So I've got the all partition, and it gives me 4 nodes. These are H100s, which will be pretty nice for me to run a couple jobs on. And so I can even go into some details on those partitions and take a look and see things like default yes, and sort of what other sort of configurations have been set for me ahead of time. And so this makes, of course, the running of these jobs so much easier. I'm interacting with Slurm right now. And so I can go in and take a deeper look here at some of the configuration. And so this is sort of one of the many configuration files, but this is a key one for Slurm. And so you can see things like preempt type is for policy. So you can understand sort of what, what's expected for preemption. You can, as jobs are sort of prioritized, a whole bunch of different settings and controls here around sort of how you're going to run your Slurm job on this environment. Now I'm going to leave it all as has been set for me, but I could go in and modify it, right? I could even create, my own little window here and cat out, do an SSH command and cat out and make some edits as part of this notebook experience. I'm not going to. Because I'm still a beginner in this environment. So now submit a job. I want to go run a job against this. Just like that, hit srun, and I'm going to run NVIDIA SMI, which is an NVIDIA utility that gives me the details of GPU, and bing, I've already got it up and running. The job has been run against my Slurm environment, and the output's there. And so you can see all the details of the nature of the GPU that it ran against, etc. Now, let me go through my accounting to see sort of, hey, what happened here? Like what resources were used by this user? And, obviously I've been playing with this environment, so you can see I've done quite a few, but this latest job, job 82, was that NVIDIA SMI job, and you can see sort of the resources that were used. It was used against the all partition, which of course is my default. And so now let's pick a recent job and I can get a bit more detail. So let's actually pick that job that I just did. So you can see the beauty of Marimo here. I can go in, edit this, hit play, and be able to get sort of whatever information I need right live, active here in the environment without necessarily having to mess around with a shell command or shell operations, copying and pasting things back and forth. It's sort of right here for me to go run the lab as needed. And so here you see, this is the job that I ran. You can see the job state's completed. You can see sort of any details around the number of nodes that were run. And then, of course, I also did my accounting, because sometimes if you look at older jobs, S-control is gone, it's been purged, but the accounting will still be there. So let's go back to maybe a bigger job. How about the all reduced job that I ran here earlier? So let's do 0.0, okay, 80.0, okay, let's run. I think S-control will probably fail, there you go. But my accounting operation gave me the details, right? So you can see the CPUs allocated, the nodes allocated, and what was run. Now, you know, there are lots of defaults for the training job. And so, you know, one of the things as part of being able to run Slurm jobs, this is sort of a very simple Slurm experience. Here I can create actually a script. And so the beauty of this, of course, is that I'm actually outputting a script into the local login node and then executing it. And so if I want to, I can type whatever I want to in here for the actual playing around of this experience. So it's sleep 120. I'd like it to be a little bit faster. I don't feel like waiting full time. So I'm going to change to 30. These are all Slurm commands that are commented out for Bash, but are actually read by the Slurm environment. And so I could obviously configure those. For now, I'm going to leave them. And so let me run. And so the job's running. Okay, now let me see. There you go. SQ shows that the job is running. You can also do SQ by user if there's perhaps a busy cluster. For me, it is not quite busy. And so let's see here. We should be time 15. So, you know, we can go and see sort of as this executes and finishes, that job will finish. And so, you know, right here in Marimo, a bunch of additional sort of details, a Sunk manual, a Slurm manual, the cheat sheet for Slurm. So I can go in and play and kind of add additional commands or configurations as part of this to be able to experiment a little bit. But now, let me take the lab to the next step, which is actually running a NCCL test. And so NCCL is the NVIDIA Collective Communications Library, as sort of described here. It allows you to do optimized multi-GPU, multi-node communication, right? And so its focus is really around the network communication between the GPUs. And this allows you to test that to make sure that it's running in the way you want it to. It's oftentimes used before sort of running a big job, but it also can be used to troubleshoot if you hit issues. And so let's just take a look and see what this thing is by running cat. You can see, again, I've got my Slurm specific commands up here, names the job. You know, let's actually change this. Oh no, it's cat, I can't change it. I could go edit this if I want to. For now, let's leave it. But here you can see sort of, you know, distribution controls, and then you can see the actual execution of the job down here. And so, you know, let's maybe go back and just make sure, do we have the previous sleep job still running? Oh, it was queued, so it's still running. But let's go ahead and run this one, okay? And we're going to take 2 nodes to run this job, and it's a script that's been supplied and also put into my login node for easy access, again, by those great solution architects at CoreWeave. And so this will run it with 2 nodes. And so let me hit play on this, and that job has now been submitted. And so let me see here, take a look at SQ and see what's running. Okay, so the NCCL test is queued up. And so if I run this tail, I'm not going to see the latest job. Because it hasn't started yet. The previous jobs are here, so you can see sort of I have run this a few times, but the latest job is not yet there. But in the meantime, let me actually pull up a Grafana dashboard so we can actually see what may be happening in our environment, okay? And so here you can see the actual dashboard showing me the Swarm block topology. You can see sort of what nodes are idle, what nodes are not idle. And so, obviously as I jumped this up and got this job running with across, should be a total of 3 nodes, the amount of idle nodes drops way down to 1, right? And so that's great. That makes sense. I've got 2 nodes running the nickel test and 1 node running the sleep. And so here you see allocated 3, idle 1. And so that is still executing across the 3. And so this gives me a view of what's running. Now I can also go in and take a look at specific job details in Grafana. And so let's go to actually a later job here. Let's go to the nickel job. Okay, so this is complete. Oh, look, the all reduce is complete. So that's good. It shows me sort of the state of where I'm at across this. Let's see where that sleep is going. The sleep job has completed. And so you can see kind of my job status. I can get sort of updates. And the beautiful thing about this is that, again, because it's running in Kubernetes, I can actually go into my Kubernetes view as well and take a look at sort of my overall cluster resource utilization. You can see sort of how many pods are running. You can see the usage, the sort of network transit across all those sort of the metrics you'd expect as part of a Kubernetes environment are also available because this is Swarm running in Kubernetes. And so I've got really the best of both worlds here to be able to get this great Kubernetes experience. And again, a very, very unique experience here at CoreWeave. And so with that, I've run the lab. If I go back here, you can see I've got some exercises, maybe some questions for me to go play around and see if I can answer some of these questions. I could go to now another lab if I wanted to, maybe an object storage lab or an LLM-based lab to be able to get things up and running. Maybe a weights and biases integrated lab. All of these are capabilities and sort of lab experiences that will be a part of the Arena experience for customers. And so with this, I hope you've had a great quick walkthrough over what Arena could be and will be for you. And I hope you get out there and get a chance to test your skills in the CoreWeave Arena.